What's up? What's up? Hello, everyone. What is good today? I am so happy to see you here. Whether you're watching it live or on the replay, I don't care. I'm still happy you are here. Hi, my name is Joshua Harrell. If we have not met, and I am your chief travel marketeer, someone who really truly believes in creating systems for your marketing, for your sales, for your service delivery. Because if you don't, I don't know. It just becomes art and it becomes very, very hard to manage at all. So, anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are returning, glad to see you back. I already see that the chat is popping off already. We are broadcasting across multiple channels around the world. I am very excited to see a big group of you from the UK. I cannot wait to see you live and in person very soon. So, welcome to everybody, no matter where you are. Anyway, all right, let's get into it. All right, today, yeah, we're going to continue to build on. I'll share it on the screen real quick. The Thriving Travel Advisor Blueprint, and this is the foundation of travel marketeering. It is a step-by-step process that we know works because why? Success leaves clues. All right. So we've tried to distill this down into a blueprint that each of you, whether you're just beginning your journey or you've been doing it for a little bit or you've been doing it for a long time, you can take a look at these steps and see, where is there opportunity for me to dial in and maybe make some changes, or where is when we get down to it, step 5 is turn up the volume. Where do you need to turn that volume up? So today I'm going to talk about step 1, which is your marquee travel win. So I'm going to explain that. I'm going to break it down. But this goes hand in hand with everything that I'm always talking about. You guys are always talking about is, how do I niche down? How do I become known for travel? All the things, right? So, what this step is all about, the Marquee Travel Win. This is what is something that a trip, an experience that you would put on a marquee, like you're on Broadway or you're in a West End show, okay? So it isn't joyful experiences, right? That's not the travel win. It's got to be a very specific travel experience that you're going to put your name in lights for, and you're going to become known for. So by the end of today's session, you should have a draft. It doesn't have to be the final one, but you should have a draft of your Marquee Travel Win, and, to help you with that, if you are a member of our private Facebook group, let me pop that up on the screen. If you're a member of our private Facebook group, Travel Marketeers, and everyone's welcome to join, I dropped in a worksheet for today's session so you can follow along, or you can go do that a little bit later. Maybe you're watching your kid doing a practice, or maybe I don't know, you could be learning crocheting while you're learning travel marketing. I don't know what you're doing, right? But if you want the download, you can get it in our private Facebook group. As well as any of the downloads and watch any of the past shows. You can either do that on the Facebook group, or you can watch us on the World Via Travel Network YouTube channel. But please join the private Facebook group if you haven't, not only for the downloads, but also for the community, because the community of travel marketeers span different consortia, host agencies, independent agencies, travel suppliers all around the globe. And I'm just so excited that that community keeps growing. So please jump in there, but you can get the worksheet there. And if you are new here, we do have a way that we like to, say, I agree with that, or congratulations, or hello. And in our world, it is a TM. So for travel marketeering, right? Right. Whenever you feel like I am talking about something, or somebody in the chat wherever you're watching is talking about something that you are all on board with, don't hesitate to drop a TM, or you can always show some emotion. I love that graphic. I forget to bring that out. I need to do more of that. All right. I am going to pop to the chat, but I have a question that I'm going to prompt you with. Right, on a scale of 1 to 10, how predictable does your travel business feel right now? So drop your number in the chat. I'm not going to call anybody out on their numbers, but I want you to drop that in. How predictable does your travel business feel right now? The reason why I'm asking that question is, by doing this work, we are going to really tease out who you need to go after, how you need to focus your marketing, how you can make faster decisions in your lead gen programs. It's all about focusing, but also getting that predictability within your business, so you feel confident that this system is operating without you having to really, keep your hands on it at all times. And I'll just say a TM to those of you who feel like they got to have their hand on their business all the time, because I understand it. I absolutely understand it. Um, so I'm going to just pop over for the chat really quick. I won't get into any numbers because I didn't want to call you guys out. I want everyone to see, who's watching live. I want everyone to see, where exactly where do your peers think they are right now? Because I can pretty much tell you nobody feels that they're at a 10. And if they're out of 10, then I'm so happy for you, but maybe there's some areas where you can go beyond that. But let's pop over to the chat and just see what's going on. We've got Melissa joining us from Minnesota. Good to see you, Melissa. Chris isn't with you. I miss him already. Kathy, TM from Owasso, Oklahoma. First time live watcher, long time replay viewer. Kathy, glad to have you live. TM to you. Oh, and my good friend Erica from World Via. TM friends. TM back at you, Erica. Erica just got done. She was with many of our World Via Academy team in Dallas at the American Airlines headquarters for a week of our live accelerator, all for brand new advisors who are trying to learn the business. She does that about 3 times a year, and that is quite a cool facility. And they even got a private tour of the whole building, which is a fairly new building. So, anyway, very cool. Good to see you, Erica. Glad you're spending time with the travel marketeers. And now I'm gonna pop out of the chat because now I'm gonna get into everybody's numbers. And guys, I appreciate you guys dropping those in. Again, drop a number from 1 to 10. How predictable do you think your business is? So let's talk about the Marquee Travel Win, all right? So it is the trip that you'd proudly put your name in lights for, okay? This is the thing that you want to be known for. You want more of those travelers. It's the trip, it's the transformation, and it's how you created that result. Get what I'm getting at here, guys? It's not about I bought this package from Globus, and Globus delivered this amazing product. They're gonna deliver an amazing product, right? It's not about that. It's about you, the advisor, advising your clients through. And, oops, I guess I did a little hand gesture and my screen little went a little wonky there. Apologize for that. So it's all about inserting you into the experience for your clients. They came to you for something. And it's something that you become known for because you've honed in your marketing. And, it clarifies who you serve and becomes the foundation of your message. It becomes the foundation of every message. Now, something that I want to say is whenever we talk about niching down, whenever we say, "Hey, this is I want to sell European river cruises to seniors," just throwing that out there, right? Whenever we say that, there's always someone who says, "Well, but I would also do a Disney trip. I would also I'll take anything. I need business," right? It isn't about turning people away. At some point, it might be. At some point, it might be. But it isn't about turning people away. It's about what you're going to put all your energy into being known for, right? So it's you're making a conscious decision to say, "Hey, this is what I want to be known for. This is what I'm going to put all my marketing into. I might run Facebook ads, Instagram ads. I might be doing TikTok lives that are all about this thing." Because let's be honest, and can I get a TM on this? Most human beings, we need to categorize things. And if you're too all over the place, I can't categorize you. Therefore, I cannot make a decision to shop with you, right? So I'm sorry. This is it's common sense, right? But it doesn't mean you have to turn business away. Now, some of you out there have already niched down. You've already said, "Hey, this is the type of trip. This is my marquee travel. This is what I do, and I don't do anything else." And if I do get people into my funnel and they want something else, then I have a network of peers who I will recommend that client to, right? And that's the beauty of this industry. There is so much business for everyone, but as important as it is to become known for your marquee travel win within the traveler world, it's also really helpful for you to be known for that within your business community, your business network. So that then that you can refer business to someone else and they can refer business to you. It's a happy little family, like an item on a menu, right? You're a happy little family. So, what I'd love to know, here's another question that again, I'm not going to call out the answers that you guys share, but I just want to ask you, what's hardest for you right now, getting enough leads or converting the leads that you already have? So just in the chat, just drop leads or conversions. Okay, love to know, where you're at, because this is part of that defining your marquee travel win. This is exactly what is going to help you with both. Okay. So follow along with me. Again, if you want the worksheet, make sure you go to the private Facebook group. If you have not, join the Facebook group. Just apply. It's very easy. Just search Travel Marketeers on Facebook. You'll apply to join, and then at the end of the show, I'll add you in. I'll add you in, and then you can get the download, and you can do all the things. But I want to share with you a couple of because you might not be in business. You might have just gotten started. Sorry, I don't know why I can't use words today. Um, so you maybe don't have a client that you've worked with that you want more of. You might not have put together your marquee travel yet, when so for you, this might be I want to go where I feel like I'm what the type of business I wanna have, and that's absolutely fine. That most of us, that's how you get started. You figure out what you want to be known for, and then you start to work with the client. You start to hone in on, "Oh, you know what? I never wanna work with that type of client again. Maybe I like these types of clients," right? So that's okay. But many of you who have sold travel before, you've experienced, a trip that you've put together, a client that you've worked with, one that has reaped you benefits, rewards beyond, right? And some of you have made decisions to change your business model because of it. So I want to share a couple of stories, and I have them down on notes because, as many of you know, I can go on what Erica calls a super tangent. When I'm telling a story. So I've pulled three different case studies from advisors that I know that I want to use them to help you see where what we're really talking about when it comes to marquee travel wins, okay? And what you should be looking for, and either looking back at your past experiences or looking I love manifesting, right? Or looking forward to what you want to manifest for your business. Okay. So I'm going to share these and think back to if you watched last week's show, I had Alan Grants on from Extravaganza Travel, and he was talking about some of his experiences, and that was we were really talking about becoming known for travel. But if you notice through that conversation, he started to define his marquee travel win. He had two, kind of the Disney path and the sandals path, but that it was a live example of someone sharing exactly where he was in his journey. But I'm going to share these stories with you and just see what resonates with you. Okay, so one of our advisors in our network decided she wanted to be the person for all inclusive honeymoons in the Caribbean. Right? Doesn't everyone? Doesn't everyone? No, not everyone does. Okay, not everyone does, but she does. So she had a couple come to her with a pretty common situation. They were overwhelmed. They'd seen a million sandals TikToks, had 5 tabs open with different resorts, and were stuck between wanting something romantic and quiet, but also not boring. Gosh, never be boring. Their budget felt tight, and they were worried about getting nickled and dimed when they arrived. Okay. She slowed everything down, instead of just firing off 3 quotes, she got them on a short call, asked them about how they met. Mm, what about that? What romantic actually meant for them, what their energy level was, and what would make them look at each other at the end of the week and say, "That was perfect." She matched them with one specific sandals property, handled every detail, prearranged a couple of surprise moments based on that conversation. So she got to know them, right? To figure out how she was going to sprinkle in her bit of magic. Um, and one of those things, it was a private candlelight dinner, and a small in-room celebration on the night they arrived. And I love that too because haven't we all traveled somewhere? It's taken us a little bit to get there, and we have best intentions to go and do everything possible, and then we get there. We need some time in our room, so I love that. I love that. So So these clients, based on this experience, they came home raving. Within 3 months, she had booked the bride's sister's honeymoon, a friend's anniversary trip, and then a group of couples who wanted the exact same thing they did, but for milestone birthdays. Uh, so one carefully designed sandals honeymoon done in her way became a pipeline for multiple ideal clients. That is a marquee travel win. Okay. So think about that. She might not have been, um, this advisor might not have said, this is what I want to put my name in lights for. Okay. Maybe she was all in on sandals. Maybe, this is honeymoons, the all-inclusive honeymoons, this is what she wanted to do, right? But she might not have known, like, her natural instincts got her to pull out what romantic meant, right? So then she could weave this experience, and from that, she got people who wanted that same experience. That is magic. Now, if she could not distill this down, right? If she could not distill this down, and she just was the advisor who handles complex itineraries for honeymoons, right? Like that's her thing. That doesn't feel like a marquee travel win. It also to me doesn't feel like something that has a lot of gravitational pull, and can pull more in to her business. So you might have a story like this, that if I asked you to write it down today, you could write it up like this in the way that I told the story. But maybe you never thought about it as that is what I want more of. I want that exact situation. Not only what they asked for, not only what they wanted, but how I could show up and deliver that. So I'm gonna give her a
Yeah, girl.
right. All right. So here's another one. Oh, and I've got different little uh camera things. Oh, I'm gonna zoom in on this one as I talk. Ugh. Do you want to see my flawless complexion, guys? All right. So here, okay. So now I'm gonna talk about a multi-gen Disney that solved complex logistics. Okay. So another advisor that I work with kept hearing the same thing. We want to take the whole family to Disney, but it sounds like a nightmare. Okay. So in this case, it was three generations: grandparents, two adult siblings and their spouses, and five kids under 10. Just a little side note, that sounds like a, holiday I will not be joining you on. Just a little note. That seems like a lot. Alright, so, there were different budgets, different energy levels, and one child with sensory needs. They were thinking they'd just all show up at the same time and figure it out. Uh, no, that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good at all. Um so this advisor stepped in and treated it like a project. Okay, so listen to this. She broke the trip into lanes. I love this. I don't know if I like being all zoomed in like that. All right, now we're going to be back to normal. So she broke it into lanes where each family would stay, how to keep everyone close without forcing them into the same room type, which park days would be full group days and which would be flex days, and how to layer in the Genie Plus Fast Pass. I'm not sure exactly what it's called now. Dining and breaks, so kids didn't melt down. As someone who was just at Magic Kingdom a few weeks ago, oh, there's some meltdowns out there. Um, so she created color-coded daily plans, including quiet time options for the grandparents and specific sensory-friendly spaces and shows for the child who needed them. On the ground, the family felt like everything just flowed. Nobody argued over where to go next. Grandparents didn't feel dragged, and the parents had moments where they could actually enjoy the trip instead of just managing it. Afterward, the grandparents told her, "We would never have attempted this without you. And now we want to do something like this every few years." I almost read that as every few weeks. That might do somebody's head in. So she's now planning their next big trip and has booked two additional multi-gen families based purely on that one success story. That's another marquee travel win, solving complexity in a way that only a real advisor can. I I really want to reinforce that, right? Because being a travel advisor is a profession. It is absolutely a profession. If you see, um, I'm not going to go on a super tangent on that, but I'm just saying your expertise is what people will pay for. And even if you don't feel like you know every single cabin type on Icon of the Seas, or you know the tonnage and all the stuff, right? You still know more than most of the clients who need your help. And every advisor I have ever met will tell you that they don't know it all, and with every booking, with every client, they just learn a little bit more. They also find out secret passions that they have that they didn't realize, right? And that helps you craft this marquee travel win. All right, so I've got one more. If you got time for it, give me a TM if you got time for another case study here. All right, so and just to preface, these are real stories. I didn't make these up. I didn't GPT them. These are real stories I asked from advisors, knowing that I wanted to really help reinforce helping you find your marquee travel win. Okay, all right, so here's another advisor who leaned into small group experiential Europe travel. One of her standout trips was a themed river cruise for a group of friends who all shared a love of wine and history. I'm sure we all have a group of friends that love some wine, but maybe not wine and history. So she this is what she did. She did a theme trip around wine and history. I love that. They didn't just want a standard bus tour plus cruise feel. They wanted time together, some private off-ship experiences, and they were nervous about coordinating flights, extensions, and different mobility levels. Okay. She started by helping them choose the right river itinerary and sailing date, but she didn't stop there. Okay. How many people do you know? Probably not you because you're a travel marketeer, so you wouldn't, but some would stop right there. Um, she arranged a pre-cruise stay in a city that matched their interest, booked private transfers so no one had to stress about getting to the ship, and layered in two custom shore experiences: a private tasting at a family-owned vineyard and a guided walking tour that could be adjusted for the friend who couldn't do long distances. She also built a post cruise extension for a few of them who wanted extra time, while keeping the others on a simpler fly home plan. What they experienced wasn't a river cruise, it was their river cruise. Cohesive, thoughtful, and surprisingly easy for a group that big. After the trip, one of the guests said, "We're going to pick a new river every 2 years, and you're planning it." Okay. She's now working on their next itinerary and has had multiple referrals from guests who wanted similar small group, high touch experiences in other parts of Europe. That's a marquee travel win for specialty groups and FIT style river cruising. Guys, this is not for those of you who have been in the business for a while. This is not revolutionary at all. This is what fantastic, phenomenal advisors do every day. And I love it. I When I first joined the industry, many of you know I don't come from travel. I came from cosmetics, a completely different world. Um, but I got to meet with some advisors that were part of our company, and they'd been advising for years, for donkey's years, right? And, the whole being an advisor and booking travel, it's complex. You gotta do all these things. Like, there's all these tabs open, all this stuff. Um, and that part I noticed was always so frustrating for an advisor, like, the booking process, the following up on certain things, the details, being in different web portals, da, 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 all those things. But the thing that I was always just so taken aback by was the what was effortless for those advisors based on their experience. So a client would call or a future client would call and they'd say, "Hey, I want to do this Viking river cruise," right? And what would naturally flow out of these advisors' mouths was there were questions, right? Questions about the type of experience, the pace, pre and post. Why are you doing this? And it just was conversational for them. And I also would watch them too. Many of you are probably just like this, where while they're talking, they're already opening up screens and they're doing all this work, right? Which is a beautiful thing. I don't get me wrong, but in all of these examples the advisor is getting to know the client, who they're working for, and they're getting the details beyond just when do you want to arrive and when do you want to leave. Because in that consultation, they're getting the information that allows them to take each of those scenarios and plus them, do something more amazing. Because let's be honest, most people don't know what they can do on like that river cruise. They know that there are river cruise and it's a beautiful way to see the rivers of the world, right? But they don't know what all is in there. Private transfers? Heck yeah. Don't put me on a coach with a bunch of people. I'm not ready for that. I need to warm up to that. I'm just I'm just joshing with you guys. Um, so the key takeaways for your marquee travel win and just kind of looking at the scenarios that I just gave you. It's the type of traveler, the key challenge, transformation. You hear that a lot with the Brand Story. Donald Miller has a book called Brand Story. It's all about the hero's journey and the transformation that happens. You are a part of the hero's journey. You are Yoda, okay? You are Gandalf. You are so important to this story. You are the guide that allows someone to go from little baby Luke Skywalker to Luke Skywalker, right? Wow, I nerded out there, but I hope you appreciated that. So you have a transformation that you have created or you want to create. I just want to add that little caveat for those of you who are new, you're just getting started. Start to think of yourself, think in a storytelling state of mind. What what are you wanting to create? What are you wanting to attract? What do you want to be known for? This is what you're going to put your name in lights for. Okay. So now let's get into like I said, there's a worksheet that you can get from the private Facebook group, the Travel Marketeers Facebook group. And it's going to take you through these exercises. So you don't have to take this down. If you're right now doing something else and you're just listening to me or you're watching me from your lounge, I don't care, wherever you are, just kind of go with me because I want to talk about what the how to draft this message. So, in the worksheet, I've got my own printed out version. I'm so excited. I've got it right here. Um, in the worksheet, it's going to be what type of trip have I planned? These are the things that you're going to answer or want to plan that I want to put my name in lights for. All right. Don't we all want our name in lights? I'm going to get a
Yeah, girl.
yeah. So what is that, trip that I have planned or I want to plan that I'd put my name in lights for? Who is the traveler? Now, I come from marketing, and we always talk about demographics, like what are their age groups? Are they married? Are they divorced? Do they live in this place? Whatever, right? Have a little bit of that, but I would challenge you to think more about the situation. In all of those stories that I just gave you, there was some type of situation. There was some kind of obstacle in the way. There was a large group. How did they get it all coordinated? All that kind of stuff, right? So I like to think about the situation because I think that's when you get into the psychographics behind your ideal customer, your client avatar. It's what's going on in their head. What are the things that they're kind of dealing with? Because that to me, age ain't nothing but a number, right? And that's always where we start is age groups. But today there's just I think we're much more aware of people's life situations, or people are more willing to talk about that. So I think you can get very, very far in identifying who the traveler is just by identifying some of the situations where you've currently helped or you want to help. Um, and that kinda goes into what was the problem that they had before they came to me. I was gonna do it on my own, like that couple who was gonna do their honeymoon on their own, but I was worried that my budget wouldn't do it. They were probably fighting. It was a honeymoon, and they were already thinking, "Do I even want to marry you? Because we cannot even make a decision. We cannot even book a honeymoon." Maybe you might need to investigate that, but chances are if you just talk to a travel advisor, you'd be good to go with that. And part of the worksheet is also getting into that transformation. So what changed for them because of the trip? And I'm gonna go to those grandparents who did the multi-gen Disney trip, right? I'm not gonna paint a sad story, but let's be honest, there's families that don't get time together, and there is a limited window where you can get everybody together within a year. Most of the time, everybody's schedule is so hectic. Can they get the time off? Are they here? Are they there? So these grandparents, not only did the parents get to enjoy the trip and the kids, one with sensory needs, right? They all got to enjoy the trip, but the grandparents got to enjoy the trip too. And they got to feel the power of their family as a family unit and traveling together. So that was a transformation in the trip, right? But in that story, they said they wanna do it again. They want to have that again. You have just transformed the way that family experiences each other and connects with each other, and I think that's oh, I'm holding back the tears, guys. I think I just got into Hallmark TV movie moment, and I didn't mean to do that. Alright. So, and also a part of the worksheet is what specifically um, did you do that made the difference? In each of those examples, I gave you something that the advisor did, asking questions, setting up the in-room experience, the candlelight dining. Um, you know, think about just right now. If any of you can answer that, uh, you know, just write in the chat if there's one example um, that you have of something like if you could answer some of those questions, is there a marquee travel win that you've actually done? So not one that you are planning to position, but something that you actually done. I'd love to talk about it, maybe refine it live if you've got one. And if you don't worry about it. You've got time to do this. This is that we're not rushing through this. I just want to I want everyone to take a moment, and if you're watching this on the replay, you can stop it and just sit with this for a little bit and, think about trips that you've put together and how they are truly an opportunity for you to have this marquee travel win that you can then roll out into your messaging. And that's what I want to talk about right now. I want to get into turning that marquee travel win into a message. And I'm going to give you a simple formula. Again, it's in the worksheet. Some of you guys get really aggressive with me if I don't have a worksheet. So I make sure that I have worksheets now, or at least downloadables. Um, but I'm going to give you a simple formula to turn your story into outward facing language. And this is stuff that you can put on your website. You can put in your social media bios and flyers. You could even probably put something like this on the back of your business card. Wherever you want to clearly explain what you do. This is elevator pitch area. It is definitely elevator pitch area, but I'll be honest with you, some of the elevator pitches I've heard sound very robotic, and they don't actually give me a story that I wanna jump into. And you, as the advisor, need a story that people can jump into, because that's how they're gonna make that decision to work with you. So, here's the formula. Write it down or press pause afterwards or get the worksheet. So I help, and then insert the type of traveler, plan. I like that word plan because, again, you are an advisor. You're not a booker. You're an advisor. You are a professional. So you plan. The type of trip. So insert the type of trip. So they can, and then get that big transformation in there, right? Get that big transformation in there. And you, like I said, you are Yoda, you are Obi-Wan Kenobi, you are Gandalf, you are the guide in the hero's journey, okay? That causes somebody go from little hobbit to a big hobbit that changed Middle Earth, right? It was Middle Earth, right? I know Rocky D'Amico is watching, and I know his business flights and fables is all about the hobbits and beyond the Shire. And I've been watching so many things on hobbits and the Thundercats. I can't remember Third Earth or Middle Earth, so you got to forgive me there. Um, so again, going back to the formula here, I help type of traveler, plan, type of trip, so they can big transformation without, and then insert a common frustration. Don't just put, so they're not frustrated, right? You got to put in what is a common frustration that fits the traveler, the travel type, this big transformation that they want to have. Because as advisors and as an advisor community, I think we assume that everybody knows how complex traveling to Europe for a river cruise. Yes, you do need to come in the day before. You don't fly in the day of, right? I use that's a silly example, but I'm just saying. I think we assume that people know about the complexities. We don't want to scare people, but drop in a common frustration that somebody who's looking for that type of transformation would be like, aha, there it is, right? So this is the backbone of your bios. This is what you can use in your elevator pitch. And if you're not familiar with an elevator pitch, it's basically how you quickly say what you do. Yes, you could say I'm a travel advisor, but that's going to fall flat. If you could say I help type of traveler plan type of trip so they can big transformation without common frustrations, right? You've just sold me on you. And when I say sold me on you, I'm not saying I'm gonna book with you because maybe that has nothing to do with my world. But now you have painted a picture for me. You have told me more than I ever imagined, right? You've planted a seed that I might get off that elevator and talk to Jolene. I know Jolene, she gets a bad rap, but we were in the break room, and she told me that, oh, she is trying to reconnect with her family, and then boom, boom, boom. Oh, well, let me tell you about Sally, who I just met in the elevator, right? Stories get told. Statements, not so much, right? So think about your stories, but this working on your Marquee Travel Win, I think is going to help you make it crystal clear. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about some of the common pitfalls in doing this and how to fix them. Okay. Are you guys with me right now? Like I there's a lot of you out there across the world today. This is probably the most watched show I have done in quite a long time. So I feel like you guys might be paying attention and excited. I don't know. Again, show some emotions. Let me know. Let me know where you're at. Uh, but I hope you're getting somewhere. I hope the wheels are turning. We've got hundreds of people across the globe right now who are trying to figure out their marquee travel win or at least define it. And I am so excited about that. All right. So let's talk about the common pitfalls and how to fix them. All right. And this is also in the worksheet. Guys, I've committed to you. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you every Saturday. I'll talk to you whenever you want. But I also am gonna make sure that, you've got the resources you need to be able to do the work. So, so one common pitfall, that I'd like to talk about is my marquee travel win is too broad. So you're trying to be everything to everyone. You hear this all the time, right? I get to, I'm fortunate. I'm so fortunate. I get to work with Erica Scanelli, our director of member development. She runs all of our events and education programs, and she has been in the travel industry for donkey's years, right? And she has to talk every single day about niching down, right? The riches are in the niches, right? And this is right in that space. You can't be everything to everyone. Now, if you are just getting started, you want to be everything to everyone because you want to make a sale. If you don't have sales, you don't have a business, right? So you're yes, you'll take whatever you can take, right? I'm telling you, success leaves clues, and everyone that I've ever talked to that has reached what their level of success is has always reinforced to me is yes, they got started doing everything for everyone and realized that they couldn't do it, right? They couldn't do it. So you have to in order for you to really get traction, you do have to narrow down your type of traveler and your type of trip. That it is so important that you do it. It again makes you more remarkable, and you always want to be remarkable. You want people to remember you, you want people to know what you do. But from a messaging standpoint, not just creating that one statement that I gave you the formula for, not just that, but how you show up in your social posts and your blogs and things like that. You need to know who you're speaking to, what type of experience you're selling, what do you want to be known for, right? Because if you don't, every time you go to sit down to write a blog, every time you go to sit down to write a social post, every time you go to write an email, your head is swirled up. You could talk about everything, right? And that is no way to really get traction. So if your marquee win is too broad, how can you narrow it down around the traveler and the travel type? Um, Here's the big one, right? I haven't sold my dream trip yet. Okay. I know I've talked about this already, but don't worry about that. I don't want you to worry about that. There are so many of you that have already been selling travel. You know the things that you will do and you won't do, right? Or you don't ever want to do again, right? And I love guys, go to the private Facebook group and share some of your stories about the things that you the clients you took on and the trips you took on that you were like, "Oh, I may have made some money on it." Well, actually, I may have made a commission on it, but I actually paid to work with them because of the hassle, because of the frustration. So if you're in a place where you haven't done that trip yet, base it on the type of trip that you're capable of delivering. And listen to me when I say that, because we always, Erica and I feel the same way. You got to jump. You got to jump in. You got to say, I'm gonna do this. But you also don't want to jump into the deep end if you are not prepared for it, okay? So, maybe there's milestones in your journey to get to where you want to be in terms of the types of travel that you want to book. But what can you do right now? That might start as simple as a premium cruise, like, find your space in premium cruise. Get good at that. Get cash flow coming in, right? And then start to, refine that marquee travel win based on that experience. If you're here and you want to be over here, let's let's start with a way you can win here. All right? That's really really important to me. Um so the other common pitfall is I have several marquee travel wins. I am so marquee ready that I just have so many, and, I don't even know where to start. So, I'm gonna ask you something that I think might be hard to hear, but I need you to go there with me, is just pick one to focus in on for 90 days. Commit for 90 days, all right? And really develop that. I talk about being a serial entrepreneur. I started so many businesses because I thought that every idea I had was a business. I'd go get the URL, I'd put up a website, I'd get a logo made, and then I'd realize I did not have a business, right? So, what I learned from that experience and what I hope that I can convey to you is yes, I get it. It's exciting, especially if you really truly have the entrepreneurial spirit. You're just ready to create businesses all over the place. But as one human, it is very hard to keep all those ideas alive. And for you to sit down and do this exercise, if you have multiple marquee travel wins that you're trying to give life to, it's gonna make it so much harder for you. So pick one for 90 days and really hone in on that. That's what you're going to, make sure you address on your website. You're gonna make it clear with your blog posts. You are really going to put your names in lights, and you can always develop those others later. You don't It's not like you're abandoning them. And if those clients come to you, it's okay, right? Like, you can still book that travel, you can still plan that travel, but what you're leading with from a marketing standpoint is this marquee travel win. Joshua Harrell starring in Put Your Marquee Travel Win right here, okay? So, I'd love to know in the chat just just 1, 2, or 3. Are you somebody who your marquee travel win is too broad? Are you someone who has not, actually sold their dream travel yet? Or are you 3, you have so many to choose from? Just put that down in the chat because I think other people would love to see what you guys are thinking about right now. Um, so if I when I get to going on these topics, I get really excited. All right. I mean, I do. I truly get excited because I know, and you would have to trust me on this. I know that people win applying these techniques. I'm not the only one that talks about these techniques. There are other people all over YouTube, all over the world on at events. My own teammates do a killer job talking about these things. But I get really excited about it because I know that this journey that we're on, going back to that Thriving Travel Advisor Blueprint, which you can get a copy of this within our Facebook group. So please come join and get it. I know that if you take this blueprint and really be pro-magnet pragmatic about working through it, no matter where you are in your journey, just getting started or been doing it for a while, I know you're going to see little glimmers of positive movement that is truly going to impact your business. It's going to build confidence. It's going to help you attract customers. It's also going to reinforce how you show up within your community, whether it's the travel marketeers community or within your consortia or host agency or even in your office. Right? This I'm sharing stuff that gets me super, super passionate. It gets me yeah, I'm very passionate is what I'm saying. So, what I'd love from all of you, because 'cause we're getting to the end of the time here, is, I've talked a lot. I've said, "Hey, you can go get the worksheet, you can go download the worksheet, you can do the work." I'd love to for anybody who has been so moved and felt like we've unlocked some magic here. If I'd love for you to write "committed" in the chat if you're committed to one marquee travel win and really working on it over the next 90 days. And I'm gonna be back at you next week. I mean, I got more to talk about, but if you're committed to really crafting your marquee travel win, I wanna see everybody's names in light, right? Drop "committed" in the chat. I'd love to see that. All right. So talking about the map going forward, and I'm going to pull up the blueprint real quick. Um, so talking about Marquee Travel Win, that's where we're at right now. That's step one. Step two, become known for travel, or become known truly. Content and visibility will revolve around this Marquee Travel Win. I see. Let's see. Calm Currents Travel. I see you're saying, "Hey, I need help building all the ways to market it over those 90 days." We're talking about it over the next few weeks here. So the content and visibility will revolve around this marquee win. Step three, trip ready signals. Your forms, your lead magnets will invite people interested in this kind of result. Your booking pathway, your consult questions and proposals will highlight this transformation. Okay, this is exactly this is the world that we live in when we're talking about travel marketeering. So all of this is connecting to, okay? Um, uh, on February 21st, I'm going to be back for turning the marquee travel win into a profitable niche. Uh, uh, February 28th, I have to look down at my schedule because I don't know what I'm doing, right? February 28th, building the first signature offer around it. That's what we're going to be talking about. So we got a lot coming up. I mean, you can always go and watch the replays on our YouTube channel, World Via Travel Network. You can go and check them out there. So if you miss an episode, don't worry about it. Or if you're in the Facebook group, no worries, we're there. But this is the foundation, right? This is the dream. This is the manifestation. This is how we're going to put it all together. Because if we try to bypass the steps, if we don't build on top of these foundational elements, it becomes you can do it. You most certainly can do it, but it just takes longer. And who really has time for that? Nobody. We're busy people, right? And we want to win. We definitely want to win. So I see Melissa says she is committed. Concurrence Travel, you are committed. Oh, I love seeing all the committeds out there. Thank you, committed to it, committed to it. Um, All right, so here are the key steps for just today's session. Just to recap, we've got identify the trip you'd put your name and lights for, clarify the traveler, problem, and the transformation. I don't want you to skip this transformation piece because I think it sounds too magical that people just don't want to do it, right? And then turn it into a simple positioning statement. The formula for this and the questions and everything like that, all in the worksheet. So I can't wait for you guys to do the work. I can't wait to see you guys in the Facebook group. Like I said, you can join. Oops, where's my little button there? If you have not joined, just search for Travel Marketeers in Facebook. You'll apply. Normally, it takes me a few minutes to break down the show and get it all published, but I always pop over there and say, "Hey, look at all these new people to that have joined." So please come over there and join. So happy that you joined me today. I hope you have a wonderful. Oh, maybe I will use my zoomed in look. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I hope this entire weekend your brain is turning and churning and coming up with ideas on how you can take or create your marquee travel win and turn it into the foundational elements of all your travel marketeering efforts. And Kathy, I see you got a question. Where do we find the worksheet? So Kathy, it is in the chat, or in the thread. I think it comes right under the last message welcoming our new travel marketeers. But when I get done, I will pin it to the top, Kathy. I added a link and didn't upload the file. You caught me. Busted, Kathy. Thank you. All right, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope to see you real soon. Check out the schedule on the Facebook page for when the next episode is coming up. I'd love to see you there. All right. See you real soon. Take care. Bye.